Hello and welcome back, NewHire users in training. As always, I'm Sean Little, account manager here at the NewHire team, and this is NewHire user training. Today we're going to be learning about how to search through our candidate pool and select the best candidates for interview using those questionnaires that we created earlier in the process. If you're not up to speed quite yet, what we've already covered is how to create a NewHire employment application. Looks a little something like this. Has our logo here at the top, the job title, the location, an attractive job ad with our offer to the candidate right here, and down at the bottom it has a customized questionnaire with questions that we think are important for our candidates to be answering. Candidates will find this after we've advertised our job, what we covered in our last video, and they will answer your questions real quick, attach their resume, and be on their way. We also covered how to create a NewHire careers page and how to edit some of these job applications that appear on that careers page. Today we're going to be learning how to search through candidates. So if you're not up to speed quite yet, go back and search through our video screens. But here we are today, and there are a couple places inside of NewHire. I've mentioned it a few times. The dashboard is a really great place to navigate around jobs. It's a pretty useful tool. You can view the applications that you think are important for you to be working on, and you can make some edits. You can advertise in this screen. So all of this is a really good place to do some work, and you can even search your candidates on that screen. But I have a couple even easier places to search for candidates. So if you're with me on the home page here of NewHire after you've logged in, you can see up at the top there's a search candidates button, and here on the left there's a search candidates button. Whichever one you choose, you're going to land in the same place, and you'll be able to see all of your jobs, the accounts that they're in, the job titles that you have, the number of applicants that are inside of those jobs, and whether or not it's currently available for applying. So you can see here that my handyman for Sample Construction Company has 105 applicants. So I'm going to hit handyman here. I can also hit the job ID if I'd like. Both are going to take me to our search candidate data screen. And you can see here I've got my 105 applicants. This is the job ID. Here's the date it was created. And there's a simple search screen. So this search screen is based on the questionnaire that you created on the front half of the process. So that questionnaire that candidates went through when they landed on your landing page, when they first applied, you're going to have that same questionnaire but in a searchable format. And I can't impress upon you enough the importance of this part of the recruiting process. Where most folks go wrong in recruiting today is not in an interview, it's not in sourcing candidates, it is at this point in the process where they're selecting the folks who they're going to be spending their time with. If you're starting out with just resumes, reading through resumes, you're already behind the eight ball. You're in a tough position because resumes take a long time to read through and they're very variable. There are not a lot of resumes that are the exact same in their structure and in their output. You don't get the answers to the same questions. So what we did at NewHire was we created customized questionnaires so that you could replace that resume with a quick searchable questionnaire that every candidate has gone through and answered the questions for. So let's say for this handyman job in Chicago, Illinois, it's Sample Construction Company. I want someone who's got some college experience, above a high school education that is, who has some experience doing electrician work and maybe as a bricklayer. And let's select a few other criteria. This is a really good question. What's the maximum voltage of an electrical socket with hot neutral ground wiring? Only the candidates that I want to be spending my time with, those folks who know a little bit about being an electrician, are going to know that the answer to that question is 125 volts. So I'm going to select 125 volts here, and I have a knockout question here as well. Do you have any experience working on commercial or non-residential electrical construction projects? I'll just say yes. So I've selected a few criteria that are really important to me. And out of those 105 candidates who have applied, this search screen is going to allow me to talk to the few who answered my questions the way that I hoped they would. So I just hit search now, and as the NewHire system does a little bit of its work, we can see what pops out are the 6 candidates who meet my initial criteria out of that 105. So you can see I've already saved quite a bit of time not talking to those 99 candidates who didn't meet my criteria. But right away I have Jane Doe here, and I have an attachment to her resume, but I'll also want to scroll down and read through her application. Looks like she had a college graduate, is a college graduate, had some years of construction experience. That's great. Has all of the jobs that she's worked in the past. Took a little bit of time to answer this long question, and knows that 125 volts is the maximum voltage on electrical socket with hot neutral ground wiring. So those are really good things for me, and so I'll be able to scroll down to the bottom and do some tracking and status on this candidate. So I can say, oh, this Jane, she looks like someone who's recommended for interview. I'll hit update. It looks like someone's already been in here and emailed her, left a message, phone screened her, so she's gone on to the in-person interview stage. So you can see that if you have a couple people in the system, you have some place to take notes, you have a status and a tracking field. You also have some customized tags. So you can see that someone's gone in here and marked Jane Doe as a save for later, someone who, if we don't hire him today, we might want to save for later for a different job. It looks like she's also maybe a customer service rep potential, so someone we might consider in the future as a customer service rep. You can add and edit those tags here at the bottom of the screen. Relatively easy, relatively quickly. You just hit this add edit tag button and it'll pop up like that. You can see that you can delete some tags, you can pick from an existing tag that you have, and you can add new tags. All of that stuff is searchable later on in the process, so let me tell you what I mean. Let's say I've phone screened 2 candidates and I'm trying to remember, who were the 2 people that I phone screened? I want to call those people back and get them scheduled for an in-person interview. So what I do is I just go down to the bottom, I hit in the tracking field, I hit phone screened and search now. And here are the 2 candidates that I have phone screened already. Here are my notes on them at the bottom, and here are my entire applications as well as their resume, so that when I bring them in for interview, I have all of that information ready and available. Again, this is the most important part in the recruiting process because it is the part where you make and break the candidate pool that you have. If you have good quality candidates, you want to be able to select them quickly and easily, spend time with the right people, and we believe that this questionnaire is the way to do that. Anyway, that's screening the new hire way. If you have some questions, obviously feel free to give us a phone call or shoot us an email. As always, I'm Sean Little. Happy hiring, folks.